Instruction on the Feast of St. George, Martyr. Feast Day, April 23rd. St. George was born of an eminent family in Cappadocia, and after his father's death, accompanied his mother to Palestine, her native country, where she had considerable property. A Christian from his youth, St. George walked faithfully in accordance with the requirements of the Christian law. When a young man, he accepted a military position in the army under the Emperor Diocletian, who appointed him colonel, not knowing he was a Christian. But when Diocletian, who was the great enemy of the Christians, published his cruel edict of persecution, George resigned his position and made the emperor an earnest exposition of the cruelty and absurdity of his edict. Diocletian, incensed at this, caused him to be imprisoned and sought by the most flattering offers to lure him from the faith. But the saint replied, "I despise thy promises. I fear not thy threats. Thy empire is not lasting. Thy power is weak and avails but little, like everything which fortune promises. It were better for you, O emperor, if you were to confess the true God and strive to gain the heavenly kingdom." Enraged at these words, the emperor caused a large stone to be hung around the saint's neck and to be again imprisoned. On the following day, the saint was again brought before the tribunal, and as he remained firm in the Christian faith, he was bound to a wheel and turned over pointed knives and sharp daggers, which rent his body. But in the midst of the torture he heard a heavenly voice say, "Lay aside all fear, George, for I am with thee." And there appeared to him a man of great stature, who took him by the hand, embraced him, and strengthened him for the struggle. George remained unshaken, and his noble example converted many pagans, whom the emperor caused to be put to death. When the emperor saw that he could not break the courage of the saint, he sought once more by flattering promises to move him to idolatry. "If it pleases you then," said the saint, "let us go into the temple and see the gods whom you so venerate." The emperor, delighted with this concession, went at once with him and a great number of people to the temple. St. George, approaching the god Apollo, said, "You desire an offering which belongs only to God?" And as he spoke, he made the sign of the cross on the image. Hardly was this done, then the devil who possessed it cried out, "I am not God, I am not God. There is no God but he whom you adore." "Then why?" demanded George. "Can you not stand in my presence and that of other worshippers of the true God?" At these words the evil spirits raised a fearful cry, and all the idols fell to the ground. The idolatrous priests and people burst into the greatest fury and wished to tear the saint to pieces, and the emperor was obliged to bring George away immediately and had him beheaded. St. George was highly venerated in the East and West. The great National Council, held at Oxford in 1222, commanded his feast to be kept a holiday of the lesser rank throughout all England. He is the special patron of military men, who by his intercession have often gained wonderful assistance. The introit of the Mass reads, "Thou hast protected me, O God, from the assembly of the malignant, Alleluia, from the multitude of the workers of iniquity, Alleluia, Alleluia. Hear, O God, my prayer, when I make supplication to thee. Deliver my soul from the fear of the enemy." Gospel, John 15, verses 1 to 7. At that time Jesus said to his disciples, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he will take away, and every one that beareth fruit, he will purge it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now you are clean by reason of the word which I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, unless it abide in the vine, so neither can you, unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same beareth much fruit, for without me you can do nothing. If anyone abide not in me, he shall be cast forth as a branch, and shall wither, and they shall gather him up, and cast him into the fire, and he burneth. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask whatever you will, and it shall be done unto you." Explanation. Christ, the God-man, our Redeemer, compares himself in a most instructive manner to a vine. His Father, like a husbandman, when sending him down to earth to be born of the Virgin Mary, planted him in the earth. The vine is Christ. The branches are the disciples, and all those who by baptism have been received into the Holy Church and are growing as living branches from Christ. As the branches are united with the vine, and by this union obtain sap, strength, and nourishment, that they can bear leaves, blossoms, and fruit, so are true faithful Christians, united in faith and love with Christ. And as long as they remain with Him, receive from Him the grace to leaf out, to blossom with holy virtues, and bear the fruit of good works. This especially takes place, as the fathers of the Church remark, by means of Holy Communion, wherein the soul becomes one with Jesus and receives from Him, as it were, the spiritual sap, which enables them to bear the fruits of a pious, devout life. If the branch is broken from the vine, it withers and is only fit to be burned. So the soul of man without Jesus becomes withered. That is, it loses the spiritual life, the grace, the love, the strength to do good, and can no longer bring forth the fruit of good works and of holy virtues. As the husbandman cuts the withered branches from the vine, so the heavenly husbandman separates from Christ those who practice no virtues and accomplish no good works. He takes from them Christ's grace and spirit, and after death deprives them of eternal communion with Him. As the living branches are kept clear by the husbandman from water shoots, superfluous leaves, useless blossoms and vermin, that they may bear better and more abundant fruit, so the heavenly husbandman keeps the faithful, who are united in faith and love with Christ, clear from all earthly affections, by afflictions, temptations, persecutions, by poverty and all kinds of trials, by remorse of conscience, by fear, which He secretly imparts to them, especially by His holy word, which, as the Apostle says, is living and effectual and more piercing than any two-edged sword, and reaching unto the division of the soul and the spirit, of the joints also, and the marrow. Remain always, Christian soul, by faith and love, and a pious active life, a living branch of the vine. Christ, in whom you were grafted in holy baptism, whom you have so often received in holy communion. Woe to you if by a lukewarm, vicious life you separate from Christ. You will then wither away and be given up to be eternally burned. Supplication. O Jesus, dispenser of life, do not suffer me to grow cold in love. Do not permit faith to die in me. Do not allow me to be separated from Thee and be lost. Rather assist me by Thy grace, that I may bring forth fruits of virtue and good works,